What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? Listen, this so random, but and it's been a few, not that many, but a few people that actually was asking my opinion earlier about if I was watching Chasing Dallas. Have I been checking up on? Yes, okay. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Listen, some of these little these web series, I will actually watch them before I watch the stuff that's on TV because they give me more than what the TV so heavily edited down and scripted and all that stuff is giving me lately. So, the Chasing Reality franchise, I do enjoy watching it. And so Chasing Dallas has become one of my favorites that I watch because they've been consistent. Hopefully Chasing Atlanta comes back. And we're gonna see what it do. But I really just wanted to get on here to talk about season 4 for a second, and it's not even to just go step by step. It's mostly because I just got through watching the first part of the reunion, and it's been on my mind for a while since the season first came on, okay? And I can't believe, I don't know why it feels like we are further along. Like, for this to just be season 4 of Chasing Dallas, it feels like this should be like season 6 or something like that. I don't know. But I was watching it and I knew of the controversy and the stuff that happened last season with Reese and all of that, and he's no longer part of the show. Now, let me tell you something. It was one particular part within the season where they said somebody popped up, a surprise guest was coming back, and they was making it like, oh, who is it? Who is it? Girl, I said it better not be Reese. Now, what the hell had to, frozen over, whatever, for that to happen? I would have been like, God damn, what's going on? But it wasn't. It was just Oliver coming back. But anyway, they got over the hump of that because I will say, granted, last season was during the pandemic. That was when the pandemic really popped off and people couldn't get together and they couldn't have an actual reunion. And that whole situation, it was just a mess. It was a mess in itself, and a lot of stuff was coming out, and it was just not a good look. Because at one point, we thought the show was completely over for Chasing Dallas, but thank goodness it came back. Now we come back with season 4, and we got some new characters. And sometimes people be like, I don't know how it's going to work with new people because they're used to the old flow of things. But for the most part, I'm all right with the cast, but then there are certain people that I truly do not want to come back at all. Okay? And we're just gonna go down the list, okay? We're gonna go down the list. Now, first of all, before we get into it, I don't watch that many web series on YouTube, but of the ones that I watch, I have to say, at this point, Chasing Reality, their production, they are doing what you supposed to do. You supposed to elevate. I mean, the production has gotten so better. The cinematography has gotten better. The introductions and everything is so good. I'm sitting there like, damn, this is so top tier. Who the hell is editing y'all shit? Cause they doing a hell of a good job. The audio, because y'all remember when some shows starts off, you can tell that they're doing it and they're not really working with much because it's just something that they're starting off on a whim, and so they getting their footing, and then the audio be messed up, whatever, and then they start, getting a little better and, learning how to fix that shit. Baby, they done got it in the bag, okay? They probably one of the best that do it from what I've seen, you know what I'm saying? But we get into the show and we get new characters, and I love the fact that once again y'all need to get some lesbians, okay? I know that's what it's gonna shake it up, baby. I feel like it'll be hell on earth. All right, y'all. It'll be a whole bunch of bullshit that goes on. It'll be a whole bunch of bullshit. Y'all need to get some lesbians, okay? And get some trans men up in there. Y'all got, the gays. You got trans women. Get some trans men and get some lesbians, okay? Because then you really gonna hook us in. You really gonna get a bigger audience. I want y'all over there to just think about that. You know what I'm saying? Cause if y'all do that, then Ashley probably would start to actually like review it for real. But anyway, but I like, they had another trans woman who was Kiki. I loved her story. I truly, truly loved her story. And for the most part, she didn't bother me. She laid back, sat in the cut or whatever. I do know it was a little bit of controversy about the reason why she left when they was in the club. And they was in that straight club or whatever. Basically, I seen it on Instagram. She was just explaining the fact that it was some straight men that was basically saying some things, and so she felt a little uncomfortable, and Robert was already leaving, so walked her out and all that stuff so that when nothing happened. It was for a protection type of situation. I understand that, because people are still ignorant these days. Meanwhile, we have Keyshawn. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, Keyshawn, what? Keyshawn came off very cocky a little bit. But, I was like, you supposed to be this fashion blogger, but what are you really giving? Because I ain't even going to lie and I ain't going to hold you. I ain't no fashion bitch. I tell you that, y'all already know. I'm a cheap bitch, okay? I work with what I got. I mean, I can get it. But do I want it? No, it ain't that important to me. As long as I feel good, I look good in my own right, I'm good. But I just didn't like that shirt that you had on. They put on him in the intro. I was like, why they got that on him? But anyway, moving on from that, he was alright. He was okay. But I really did start to like him, and it was so crazy. Like, I was on the fence about him, and in the reunion, they did bring up the fact that, how do you feel that people actually started liking you once you really went in on DeAndre? And he felt the way about that, but you have to understand, you came off a little different. You came off a little extra cocky, like you that bitch, you that girl. And sometimes we don't like that right off the bat. But, I'm cool with you. I'm cool with you. I enjoyed him, and I would like to see him back. Kiki can come back. Ted Lee. I ain't even gonna sit here and lie, and I'm not trying to talk about nobody, but Ted Lee, I don't know who. Now, you discussed it in the reunion about the eyebrows, about the hair, getting some more fibers on your hair and all that stuff. It doesn't hurt just to do a little bit less, okay? It doesn't hurt to do a little bit less. I feel like you're a nice looking guy, and a little less is more, okay? Less is enough, you know what I'm saying? Just take it down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You can keep the, the coloring and all that stuff, but just take it down a little bit, like with the eyebrows. I could deal with the hair on your head, but it's just the eyebrows. Just take it down just a notch, okay? Because it's a little distracting, but when I first saw it on the preview for what was coming on the season, it was distracting for a second. But then as the season started going, I didn't really even notice it because, I actually liked Ted Lee. Ted Lee was just really calm, cool, laid back. He was one of the most unbothered people on the cast, to be honest. Like, he really wasn't in that much drama. But we'll get on that because I had something to say. But then you get, he was going through a divorce. He had a man at one point on the show when we first started, but then he didn't. And then it was the whole situation about him being with other men and all that stuff. And I'm sitting here like, so we literally about to just come at this guy because he's have different niggas? Who cares? Who cares? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all on the cast got different niggas, okay? Like, if he wants, he literally just got a relationship. He's dating. And if that's what he want to do, that's what he want to do. Ain't no problem with that. They're consensual and consent given and all of that stuff. So, what is the issue? What is the issue? Okay, as long as he ain't fucking around with one of y'all niggas, what is the problem? Now, I can see if that was the issue, I can see that being a big deal. This whole thing with George coming onto the show. Now, see, George, when you was going through your shit with Reese last season, I was all the way here for you. Because Reese was just doing too fucking much. And now you doing too fucking much. I follow George on TikTok. Because he's actually a pretty cool, chill, funny guy on TikTok and everything. But you moved from Dallas to Atlanta. You popped up on a couple of scenes, a couple of episodes, maybe 2, 3. Out of the whole season, and they got you at the reunion for the whole reunion. For what? For what? The issue that you have with Ted Lee, for whatever reason, I still don't know what it is. And if y'all can explain it, who know the tea and all that stuff, put it in the comment. But I just don't get all of the vitriol that's going on. Okay, I guess, he was acting funny with you and acting, like y'all really wasn't friends anymore, or I don't know what it was, but I got from this interaction, and I see the comments of people saying, oh, George don't play, and George is this, and they bigging him up and all that stuff. But I'm here to say, you look lame as shit when you was on this reunion, all right? That whole scene with you going at Ted Lee, every time you came onto the show during the season, you look lame as hell, okay? I'm going to be the one that say that. You look lame as hell because of the simple fact that I cannot stand when a person says, I'm not pressed, I'm not bothered, you're not going to do this, I don't care. But yet you're acting as if you're pressed, bothered, and you do care. If you didn't care anymore, if you wasn't bothered, if you wasn't pressed, you didn't give a damn, none of the stuff that happened in the show would happen. None of the shit that happened in the season at this reunion part 1 would have happened. I mean, are you about to beat his ass or whatever? Yeah, Ted Lee said, we'll beat me out in the parking lot. I said, now, Ted, like, stop playing, sis. Or I should say, sir, and I'm sorry about that. Stop playing, okay? Because I just don't think that you will probably win that, okay? You might get a pinch in, but you just ain't gonna win that. You know what I'm saying? But the way that you was acting, George, like I'm talking to him like they're gonna be watching. The way that he was acting, it was just extremely too much. But somebody that's over the situation, somebody that don't give a damn about a person, I don't give people that much energy. If you did me wrong, you can't admit that you did me wrong. And I feel like you're not going to admit it no matter how many occasions we try to talk about it. I'm over and done with it. It's not finna get to me like that. And you keep on saying, he kept on saying, oh, you on here and you was on here for attention and I made your story like, oh, bitch, you on here for attention too, because what other reason was you on here for? Nobody was talking about you on this show and you just popped up just to have a drama with Ted. And he was paying you dust for the most part. He was so freaking unbothered. He was calm when he was going at your ass. And you the one that was acting all irate and everything, making yourself look lame, dumb, and just like you're bothered. Okay? I said, I wish I would. I wish the fuck I would. And I'm just like, the way it just really disturbed me, because if y'all was really friends, the way that you said that you was friends, I just don't understand how it goes from let's talk it out, or not even being able to talk things out to me, or to you just going so hard on his appearance and, his love life, his marriage and all this stuff, as if you were strangers. And it just came off as if y'all was never really friends, because if you can turn that switch that quick and you can go in that hard and be that nasty to somebody that you said was once your friend, and y'all was still in the midst of doing stuff before y'all can even figure out what the issue is, y'all wasn't ever friends, and that makes you look bad. I just wouldn't, that just makes you look bad in my eyes, okay? I just wasn't here for it. I know it's probably going to be some people that be like, but Joe, I don't care. That's my opinion. It just didn't look right. Okay, you jumping all up and you ain't even getting that type of energy back. All right. And at the end of the day, why do you care about what this guy is doing? Of course, again, you said that you're not keeping up with him, but you kind of sound like you are if you know what they're doing, and when they got their broker's license, and who nigga that he's sleeping with, or he this and that. You're keeping up, okay? So let's stop with that. That's what it comes off. Even if you say you're not, somehow you are. Even if somebody is giving you that information. Bitch, was that a gnat? It really was. Girl. Y'all, it's a heat wave going through. It's been 80 plus. It's been 80 plus. And I know some people down south like, bitch, 80 plus, that ain't nothing. That's everyday stuff. Well, we in Chicago, okay? We are in Chicago, and no, that is a heat wave for us. Anyway, it is just June 2nd, okay? Come on. And anyway, happy Pride! Moving on from that, yeah, you just look real pressed, and I just really wasn't here for it. And I actually like you, so don't get that shit twisted. And see, that's what you do when you like people. You know, you telling the fucking truth. Okay, you telling the truth. You don't sugarcoat that shit just to spare their feelings, especially if it's not, trying to be harsh. And you look whack. You really did, and I didn't like that. I wanted more for you to be on. If you was gonna come back on the show, I wanted you to come back in a different capacity. Also, who else you had? You had Jet Jeff. You know, he's the Peruvian princess, and he's an artist, and he kind of. Would I want him back? Yeah, he can come back. He can come back. So far everybody can come back that I mentioned, and I did like his story. I was glad that he was able to get into touch with his story about, being in a domestic violence relationship and finding his brother and seeing his mom and, a little bit of the argument. He was a little instigator. He was being a little bit messy, but a lot of the stuff that he was involved in was just really petty, and it didn't have to blow up the way that it blew up. The whole situation about Lon D getting into it, he and Lon D, well, Jet Jeff saying that Lon D and Ted Lee were together or possibly did something. Yeah, you was being messy. You started a rumor, you was instigating it or whatever. But let me just say this, because Lon D, you can go. You can literally go. It's two people that I can literally do without on this show, and that is Lon D and DeAndre. But before we get on to them, let me get back to the people that I'm here for. Kesey, he's cool, real down to earth or whatever. Everybody trying to be an artist or something on here, artist or a fashion designer or whatever. He just about his music or whatever. Of course, Dior came back. I really do like Dior. I didn't know Dior was that old. I said, bitch, you look good as shit. Dior is fine to me, so there's that. Trey Howard, he's on his stuff, doing his thing. DeAndre, I want to tell you something. You so fucking late when you gonna say Trey got his when he just got his teeth done when he got his first Chasing Atlanta Chasing reality check or whatever. And my whole thing is, I thought this was a free show. I didn't know y'all was getting paid for this. But then again, Trey been doing a whole bunch of stuff outside of the show. Like, ever since he been on the show, like the opportunities that have been coming towards him, in the fashion game. I've been seeing him being at Fashion Week and all of that stuff down in New York and all over whatever. Now he living up in California. Like, how can you hate on somebody that's actually elevated and they not in the same spot that you at? Because you literally still in the same spot. We'll get on DeAndre, because that's literally what prompted me to come on this camera and talk about it. But, Astro, he like the baby of the group. And he literally is the I'm trying to get out the mud type of person, okay? And, his history of being in the game, to protect himself in Memphis, moving multiple times with his mom and his brother, stuff like that. And him being an artist, and he actually really is a good rapper, if you ask me. I could see him coming back because we need some more, give him a little bit more shine, you know what I'm saying? And I do like the fact that they show him actually having a 9-to-5, because it's a lot of niggas, unfortunately, in the gay LGBT, and that means lesbians too, like to false flag and they act like they really got it all or whatever. And truth be told, they really don't. They be just false flagging a lot. You know what I'm saying? They're stunt queens, okay? And you see him doing what he got to do to pay for what he got to pay for. You know what I'm saying? He has a regular job. I believe Keyshawn said he got a regular job as too, 9-to-5 and all that as well. So, you have to work in order to get to the place where you actually want to be. So you use your 9-to-5 to fund your passion, okay? Until you get to the point where that passion can fund your whole life. You know what I'm saying? So moving from that, who else was on here? Robert came back, and Robert kind of disappointed me. Robert really disappointed me this season, because I liked him last season. He was kind of low-key. He was different because he was a real masculine, presenting gay man or whatever. And I liked that because they was giving different variety of what gay people look like. You know what I'm saying? Or I should say what gay people Yeah, what they look like. That we come in all type. We come in all type, just like black folks. You know what I'm saying? And so to see him, I was just like, okay, cool. But he came back having an issue with Dior, you know, because I don't even remember. And I just feel like it was petty as hell. And then once you got over that, this whole situation about Kesey and Dior possibly doing something together, but then them two saying that it's just Dior managing him as a, you know, an artist and a client and all that stuff. I didn't understand how come that situation became such a big goddamn deal. Now, Robert, I understand that you felt some way about Dior possibly doing something with Kesey because your friend at the time, one of your best friends or whatever, had something going on with one of them or whatever, and that was kind of messed up. Or had something going on with Kesey, but they're not together anymore. So who cares? And is your friends with Dior? Now, if that's the case, then I can understand. But if that's that, I don't even think they even established or, you know, explained that. Because if that's the case, if they're not friends, why do you care so much that he with somebody else? Like, come on. It was just too much. And I just felt like people was finding being stupid reasoning to be mad at people and to have drama. I felt the drama between Robert and Dior was very much unnecessary, and it was all on Robert. I felt Robert was being messy throughout the whole season, okay? The whole situation that happened between him and Trey, that was like, it didn't even have to happen. They don't even get along at this point. They weren't getting along at the freaking reunion. And, you know, you got that going on. And then we get to DeAndre. I'm just going to say this. Line D. Let's get to Line D first, okay? Line D came out of nowhere. Like, a lot of them came out of nowhere, but he literally came out of nowhere from me. And my whole thing is, I thought I was going to like him because he gave a mature vibe, but he was just too much. And this is not the show for him. I just feel like this is not the show for him. This is not the crowd for him. And especially after looking at the reunion part 1, when they was asking him, you know, how come you always hollering and acting like you somebody daddy or whatever? Is it, you know, you talking about something, you expect this to be mature? Baby, this ain't the type of thing. I'm pretty sure you just seen Chase in Dallas or whatever. They don't come on here to act with 100% maturity and we're going to actually talk it out or whatever you was trying to do. And I get it because I'm that same way. That's why I would never put myself in certain positions because and hang around certain people because I just don't deal with a lot of mess, all right? I'm not here for a lot of drama. I'm not here for a lot of bullshit and that back and forth, he say, she say shit, because, baby, I get up and leave in a second. But it's just the way that he came down on people. He was so fucking like, God damn, bitch, are you they daddy or are you a cast member trying to be their friend? And then this whole situation with Ted Lee and him and then, you know, Jeff spreading that around and they said that it wasn't true. And then you trying to justify the reason why the thing that Jeff did was not the same as you keep on talking and harping on a relationship or possible relationship between Dior and Kesey. Who gives a fuck? That bothered me the whole season. Them harping on whether or not Dior and Kesey were fucking around. If they were fucking around and if they wanted to say it, who cares? And the fact that Lon D kept harping on it too, you know, to the point that he didn't even want to show up to a certain event or whatever just because he didn't want to see one of them or whatever and they didn't want to talk about. Like, bitch, are you serious? Like, nigga, be for real and grow the fuck up. You probably the oldest person on the cast or second oldest, I don't know. And you acting like this. You acting like this because of what, bitch, it ain't even got nothing to do with you. And even if you found out that they was lying about the relationship, what does it happen? How does it affect you? I just didn't understand his position and why he was there. You know, he gave grandpa vibes, okay? He gave, I'm finna judge everybody. When that whole situation went down with DeAndre and Kesey at Trey's place, and you up here screaming and you getting all pissed off and everything, and understandably, because you see what's going on, it's kind of like, damn, why y'all acting like this? But who the fuck are you? And why are you getting so upset and talking about y'all don't know who touch me, and hey, y'all better stop this? And I'm just sitting here like, You just wanted to say something. It just felt like you just wanted some attention, okay? It was just doing too goddamn much, and you turned me off right then and there, and you kept doing it throughout the show, and you did it at the reunion, all right? Now, let me tell you once again, the way Jet Jeff was saying that you and Ted Lee possibly could have had something going on or whatever is the same as you keep on harping on Kesey and Dior having something going on. It's the same thing. You try to say it's a difference. There is no difference. There is no difference, okay? You just do too fucking much all the goddamn time. You are not these people's daddies, okay? And so you are not the disciplinarian. And I understand you want to be the mature adult in the situation. Again, you probably in the wrong crowd and you on the wrong show, okay? Because that's not what this is giving. You know what I'm saying? Like any other time I probably would have been here for it, but you know, it just didn't work. This ain't the Real Housewives of Dallas, okay? This is Chasing Dallas, you know? So you get down and you get gutter. Now say the worst for last, okay? The whole situation with DeAndre. DeAndre don't need to come back on the show. I have never watched a season of a reality show where I seen someone and instantly did not like them, and they prove continuously throughout the show why I did not like them. And I just do not, there is not one redeeming good quality about DeAndre. And I feel as though, you know, he came in being a friend of Oliver, you know, Oliver Twist from Chasing Atlanta, and, you know, Oliver just been everywhere. He was just on Brad Loves Judy, their show, this past recent episode, you know. And truth be told, let me say something about that. Judy people, I don't know who she was or whatever, but she was hating on Oliver because Oliver and them, they just didn't like the fact that he came in and he spotted some shit right off the back to help them. But talk about, so this supposed to be a family atmosphere and you not giving. Bitch, no. Fuck all of that. This is business. You want people to come in. You want people to direct traffic to your website and all that shit. People know the shit, okay? And so he was giving you what he knows. And a lot of the stuff that he was saying was not wrong. And he wasn't even saying it in a disrespectful, overbearing, know-it-all type of way. He was saying that's his expertise. And y'all couldn't take it. You couldn't take it because you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody coming in critiquing your work, he was giving you what he needed, and that's what he was called in there for, and you got a problem with it. I said, get the hell up out of here. Anyway, Oliver, don't bring no more of your friends on this show, okay? I'm gonna just say that at this point. You just keep that over there Chasing Atlanta, okay? Maybe he would have been better suited over there. DeAndre, the whole situation, like, if I was a nasty person, I could read the fuck out of DeAndre. You know what I'm saying? I could read the dog shit out of DeAndre. Like, just from looks alone, okay? From dress alone, from attitude alone, from personality alone. I could read the dog shit out of him, all right? But see, I don't want to take that route because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already done that, and I'm not a nasty person like that. And I can see when somebody is going through some shit, and I can see when somebody is just really just not happy with themselves. And DeAndre, you're not happy with yourself, okay? You truly not happy with yourself because you came on this show, and I don't give a damn what you try to say on that reunion, how you wanted to come on here, what you saw, who and what made you switch up and all this stuff. You have a nasty spirit about you. You have a nasty, miserable, bitter ass spirit about you. And that energy is just so fucking negative, and it's been negative the whole damn show, including this reunion. Baby, they was going down the line trying to see how everybody was, what they wearing, and DeAndre is just, as soon as they get to Keyshawn, baby, he talking shit about Keyshawn dress and whatever, what he had on. And I'm sitting here like, but look at what you got on. Because we could read that shit, bitch. It look like you got that shit out the clearance aisle from fucking Walmart, okay? Bitch, I would have been nice and said you got it from Men's Warehouse, but that's being a little bit too nice and giving you a little bit too much. For you to be always talking about how somebody dressed, you look the cheapest. Side note, outside of Astro, but Astro is trying because Astro is, you know, he young, he trying to get his footing. But out of all the adults, bitch, you look the cheapest, okay? So let's stop that. And that ain't even an issue. Like, Come on, why you? He's just an easy read, to be honest. Okay, and you want to know what? I wouldn't even go there because the way that Andre be dressed, Andre and Robert be dressed, bitch, they be comfortable. That DeAndre and Robert be comfortable, bitch, and I be just like that. But since you such a nasty ass person, I just have to go in a little bit because it's just I just don't understand. He was attracted to Kesey. Kesey didn't want nothing to do with him in that way, kind of rejected him in that way, but he wasn't nasty about it. He wasn't disrespectful about it. And because of that, he gets upset with Kesey, and then they wind up getting into a fight because he started it. All because Kesey didn't want nothing to do with him in that way. Like, Kesey was cool with them being friends, but he didn't want to have an intimate relationship or whatever. And you upset because you got rejected. And I said, what in the fucking toxicity is going on? I said, are you serious? Are you serious? And then you lied about who started the fight, and it was making me mad. And Robert, you was pissing me the fuck off on this set too, because you wasn't even there when the fight started, and you was already, you know, trying to put the blame on Dior and everybody else, and it wasn't Dior issue, it was DeAndre's issue. Okay, Line D. Every time somebody did something and it looked like they was doing it towards DeAndre, you would bring your ass into the mix and automatically put it on everybody else. I just couldn't stand that. And I'm sitting here like, bitch, do you not see that everybody and their mama don't fuck with this nigga? Obviously something is going on, and the problem has to be him, okay? So you get that going on. And then the whole situation with Keyshawn, the whole situation with the bar, and when they go to the club and everything, and you leaving them to pay the big amount of the check and all of that stuff, and you just came off like a fucking fraud, okay? And I just, what I see when I look at DeAndre and his actions and the way that he comes off, and I mean, he was so nasty at this reunion as well. He was going off on Trey. He was going off at Keyshawn. He was just going off on everybody, you know, talking shit about Tedley, and they weren't even saying nothing to you or whatever. And it's just like, what is your problem? What is your problem? You sitting here trying to read everybody, but if somebody was to read you about a lot of things that's going on in your life and how your appearance is or whatever, you'll feel some type of way. You'll say they being discriminatory. You'll say they being this and they being that. But yet you doing the same thing towards them. You come off as if, especially when that Kesey situation happened, it's almost as if you probably reverted back to when you was in high school, even in junior high. You probably liked certain people, or you was conflicted about your sexuality, and you tried to, you know, get a handle on that, and you tried to get the pretty girl, or, you know, and you couldn't. And you realized that you was gay, and you tried to get a certain type of guy, and you couldn't pull that either. And so that kind of reverted and probably put you back in that state when you couldn't get Kesey, because, you know, he is a cute looking guy. He is a very handsome guy, and he just wasn't here for you in that way. And so now you're getting in your feelings because, again, you were not chose. You give me you were chosen last in gym, okay? You give me you were playing by yourself on the playground. You give me that you ate by yourself at lunch, okay? You give me that you barely had friends, probably just one, and that person just tolerated your ass. That's what you give me. You give me that you had some childhood trauma that was going on when it comes to being neglected, being left behind, being not chose. That's what you give me. You give me all of that, which makes you a bitter, miserable person as a fucking adult, because you have not took care of and addressed those and confronted those inner demons that you got going on in your spirit. You didn't go to therapy, and that's what your ass should have went to. Your ass should have went to fucking therapy, or showed your ass going to fucking therapy while you was on this show, or went to therapy instead of doing this show. You are a nasty ass individual, and I swear to God, bitch, I swear to God, ain't no way in hell you will get away with saying the shit that you was saying to them with me, bitch, because that's just and it is like so many people. I ain't never seen it on no show, period, with just about the whole fucking viewers just could not stand that person. And we all can't stand your ass. And we gave you a chance to redeem yourself. And you fucked that up too. And you continue to. Like, every time somebody said something on their reunion, bitch, you just looking like, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you talking about how people dress and how people look, nigga, why don't what was you doing that you couldn't even come to the reunion with a fucking, did you even bother to pick up a comb and pick out your hair? No. You could have got a little lining up or whatever and, you know, faded out your back or whatever, all the couple bugs back there. I mean, it's a natural look, but, girl, a brush could do you good. A brush could do you good. You could have calmed that out a little bit. You looked a fucking mess and had the nerve to be talking about other people. Had the nerve to be talking about other people. And that's that insecurity shit. That is that insecurity shit. You're so fucking insecure. And I feel like you was intimidated by a lot of people on the cast, okay? And then you and Line D talking about something. It's like a group. It's like this side and this side. No, y'all made that shit. Okay, y'all fucking made that shit for the simple fact that y'all are just assholes. Y'all really are. Y'all not likable. Line D, if it wasn't for the fact that they consider you cute, you would not be likable, because I don't really vibe with you. Granted, I ain't got to, because I don't know you, but that's how it is. Your energy was off too. You did too much, and DeAndre, you need help. Go to therapy, boo-boo. Get that fucking childhood trauma and whatever else that probably happened in your life. Get that checked out, okay? Go discuss that with somebody that can give you some tools to relinquish that pain, okay? Because you taking it out on people that ain't done shit to you. I don't understand how you have so much vitriol and so much hate or whatever towards people that you just met. You just met. And you can't own up to the fact that you've been an asshole throughout this whole fucking show. It just really bothers me. But anyway, you know what? It's cute. If I was, like I said, George don't need to. If George is not living up in Dallas, baby, don't bring him back. If he ain't got no real storyline or whatever, don't bring him back. Put him on Chasing Atlanta. You can put him on Chasing Atlanta since he's down in Atlanta. Okay. It was cute to see King came back for a second. You know, Trey Howard went to LA. I don't know if he's gonna still be on Chasing Dallas, but again, they live in LA now, so there's that. I will say this. I do love when they get personal on the show though, because a lot of the stuff people was going through was very, very relatable. Now when Dior had his birthday party and he was talking to his sister, and he was talking about how, you know, he feels alone and people be wanting him to reach out to people, and yet they don't reach out to him. No one checks in on him. Baby, do you know, with that episode, I bawled my eyes out. I bawled my eyes out. It broke me so bad. It broke me so bad because, y'all know, if you new here, I went through, like, I do suffer from depression. All of last year, I would say for the majority of last year, I was just in the darkest place that I ever been. And some of the things that I was feeling and have felt just a lot of my adult life is the fact that, you know, I feel alone. You know what I'm saying? The same stuff that Dior was saying, you know, feeling alone, feeling like you reach out to people all the time and they want you to do this, want you to do that, and they cool with you for this moment or whatever, but yet nobody reaches out and checks on you. And that's just how I feel. And, you know, I'm trying to get over that feeling or whatever, but it's just life and that's just what it is. Till to this day, I still feel that same way. And I was just like, you know what, bitch, a lot of us be going through some shit. And I do like the fact that on the reunion, they allowed them to address the issues that was going on and to clear up some of those things in those heartbreaking or heartstring tugging, you know, moments, because half of them couldn't even talk. I said, God damn. You want to know who else I felt so bad for? I felt bad for Trey in that scene when he was trying to talk to his father. And I don't know the whole story. I'm pretty sure it was some addiction or something that was going on within his family, and put on top of the fact that he is gay, you know, that probably pushed him away a little bit more. But, you know, he didn't have his father in his life and he was trying to connect with him. And it was just, it's one thing to have your a parent not be present in your life, and you thinking it's because they got issues or whatever, And then come to find out the parent, once you reconnect with them or you find out more about them, whether you reconnect or not, you find out that they got kids, other kids, that they're actually actively in their other kids' lives. And it's like, oh my God, what was wrong with me that you couldn't be active in my life and you don't want to be active now? I don't want nothing from you. I just want you. You know what I'm saying? And that whole scene with him and him breaking down, bitch, it touched me because, you know, to this day, I haven't heard shit from my father, even with the fact that my mama went through what she went through, you know what I'm saying? And girl, it's just like a lot of this shit is so fucking relatable, but y'all be having so much goddamn petty ass drama. I be sitting here, I be eating it up, but in the same time, I be like, girl, if y'all don't move past this shit, for real, for real. The season was cute. This first part of the reunion, it didn't really give me much, you know what I'm saying? But it was doable. I ain't gonna lie and say it was so good. Maybe the second part would be, you know, get into a little bit more stuff. But, you know, y'all tell me how y'all feel if you watched it. Keep up the good work. I do like the show, though. But, yeah, go back to what I said, bitch. Put some lesbian, put some dykes on here, bitch. I need to have a film on here that I can actually, like, be like, oh, you know what? She bad as shit. I really need that. I need that in my life. Bitch, I need a bitch. That's what I need. Anyway, let me get the hell up off of here. Girl, I'll see y'all later. All right, enjoy y'all weekend. Peace.